All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of multiple projects worth around 18,000 crore rupees in Dehradun today. Prime Minister calls for a fintech revolution to achieve financial empowerment of every single citizen. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says Centre is fully prepared to deal with Omicron variant of Corona. Centre asks states and union territories to be extra vigilant to contain spread of Omicron. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 126 crore 44 lakh mark. Cyclone Jawad likely to hit Andhra Pradesh and Odisha coast today. India lost to Germany in the semi-final of the FIH Odisha Hockey Men's Junior World Cup in Bhubaneswar. And India's Ananya Bansal wins the silver medal in the shot put event at Asia Youth Paralympic Games in Manama, Bahrain. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe: wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Dehradun in Uttarakhand today. He will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple projects worth around 18,000 crore rupees at 1 p.m. Talking to media persons, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand Pushkar Singh Dhami said,
जिसमें हमारी बहुत सारी बड़ी योजनाएं, लगभग 18,000 करोड़ की योजनाओं का लोकार्पण होना है, शिलान्यास होना है। तो निश्चित रूप से बहुत ऐतिहासिक दिन है, हमारे लिए बड़ा शुभ दिन है। और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो उत्तराखंड के साथ एक जुड़ाव है, एक लगाव है, उनका कर्म मर्म का यहाँ से रिश्ता है, उसी प्रकार से उत्तराखंड के लोगों का भी प्रधानमंत्री जी पर एक भरोसा है और उत्तराखंड के लोग हमेशा उनका इंतजार करते हैं। तो निश्चित रूप से हमारे पूरे उत्तराखंड की जनता में एक तो नई सौगात हमको मिलने वाली है लोकार्पण और शिलान्यास के रूप में, साथ ही जो उनका यहाँ से उद्बोधन होगा, जनता का जो संबोधन होगा, वह भी एक नई ऊर्जा देने का काम हमारे सभी आम जनमानस को करेगा।
The Prime Minister will also address a rally today. Mr. Modi will lay the foundation stone of 11 development projects. This includes the Delhi-Dehradun Economic Corridor, which will be built at a cost of around 8,300 crore rupees. It will significantly reduce the travel time from Delhi to Dehradun from 6 hours to around 2.5 hours. It will have Asia's largest wildlife elevated corridor of 12 km for unrestricted wildlife movement. The Delhi-Dehradun Economic Corridor will also have arrangements for rainwater harvesting at intervals of 500 meters and over 400 water recharge points. The Greenfield Alignment Project from Delhi-Dehradun Economic Corridor connecting Halgua, Saharanpur to Bhadrabad, Haridwar will be constructed at a cost of over 2,000 crore rupees. It will provide seamless connectivity and reduce travel time from Delhi to Haridwar as well. The Dehradun Ponta Sahib Himachal Pradesh Road project, to be constructed at a cost of around 1,700 crore rupees, will reduce travel time and provide seamless connectivity between the two places. It will also boost interstate tourism. A bridge across River Ganga next to the Lakshman Jhula will also be constructed. The world-renowned Lakshman Jhula was constructed in 1929 but has now been closed due to decreased load carrying capacity. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone for the child-friendly city project Dehradun to make the city child-friendly by making the roads safer for their travel. Foundation stone for projects related to development of water supply, road and drainage system in the Dehradun at a cost of over 700 crore rupees will also be laid. In line with the Prime Minister's vision to develop smart spiritual towns and upgrade tourism-related infrastructure, the foundation stone for infrastructure development works at Sri Badrinath Dham and Gangotri Yamunotri Dham will also be laid. Also, a new medical college in Haridwar will be constructed at a cost of over 500 crore rupees. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate 7 projects, including those which focus on making travel safer by tackling the problem of chronic landslides in the region. The 120-megawatt Vyasi hydroelectric project built over River Yamuna at a cost of over 1,700 crore rupees will also be inaugurated along with the Himalayan Culture Centre at Dehradun. The Prime Minister will also inaugurate the state-of-the-art perfumery and aroma laboratory in Dehradun.
The Prime Minister has said FinTech revolution will help to achieve financial empowerment of every single citizen of the country. After inaugurating the Infinity Forum through video conferencing yesterday, the Prime Minister said, "Finance is the lifeblood of an economy and technology is its carrier, and both are equally important for achieving Antyodaya and Sarvodaya." Highlighting the importance of FinTech, Mr. Modi said FinTech has immense opportunity in the country and now it is time to convert these FinTech initiatives into a FinTech revolution. Mr. Modi said FinTech is resting on 4 pillars: income, investments, insurance and institutional credit.
FinTech industry in India is innovating to enhance access to finance and the formal credit system to every person in the country. Now, it is time to convert this FinTech initiatives into FinTech revolution, a revolution that helps to achieve financial empowerment of every single citizen of the country. Friends, as we see the widening reach of FinTech, there are considerations that need attention. FinTech industry has achieved huge scale, and scale means people from all walks of life as customers.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said India has proved to the world that it is second to none when it comes to adopting technology or innovating around it.
India has proved to the world that it is second to none when it comes to adopting technology or innovating around it. Transformational initiatives under Digital India have opened doors for FinTech innovations to be applied in governance. Technology has also catalyzed financial inclusion. From less than 50% Indians having bank accounts in 2014, we have almost universalized with 430 million Jan Dhan accounts in the last 7 years.
Our correspondent reports that this 2-day event is a thought leadership forum with a focus on aspects relating to FinTech and using it for inclusive growth. Infinity Forum has an interesting theme, Beyond. Infinity Forum will witness participation from over 70 countries. The Niti Aayog, Invest India, FICCI and NASSCOM are some of the key partners in this year's Infinity Forum. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that several precautionary measures have been taken to tackle the challenge of the new coronavirus variant, Omicron. In his 90-minute reply in the Lok Sabha to the marathon discussion on the COVID pandemic, he said 2 cases of infection due to the Omicron strain have been detected in Bangalore, including one traveller from South Africa and another from the city. He said contact tracing has been done in both cases and the COVID status of all contacts has been ascertained. He said the genome sequencing of the viral samples drawn from those who tested positive among them is currently underway. He said the new strain has been detected in 25 different countries as of the 25th of November. On the question of administering booster doses against COVID, the minister said the scientific opinion of the expert group on it will be taken into account while deciding about it. Dr. Mandavia said each and every district in the country will have a facility with at least 50 beds to treat the pandemic disease among other illnesses, with modern diagnostic facilities capable of doing 115 kinds of tests.
The centre has asked the states and union territories to be extra vigilant in enforcing public health measures to contain the spread of Omicron variant of COVID-19. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has written to Additional Chief Secretary and Principal Secretary of all states and UTs in this regard. He said international passengers arriving from both at-risk and other countries to different states and union territories. He said all state surveillance officers have been provided an access to Air Suvidha portal of the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Mr. Bhushan asked the states to access the portal every day to know in advance the details of passengers coming in their respective state from different international airports. India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 126 crore 44 lakh. The Health Ministry said over 126 crore 44 lakh 92,000 vaccine doses have been administered till now. It said over 66 lakh 58,000 vaccine doses were administered yesterday.
Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has said that the government has taken a multi-pronged approach to increase farmers' income in the country. In a written reply in the Rajya Sabha yesterday, the minister said the government announces minimum support price MSP to ensure remunerative prices to the growers for their produce and to encourage higher investment and production. He said over 894 lakh metric tons of paddy was procured on MSP for the Kharif marketing season 2020-21, benefiting over 131 lakh farmers in the country. He said over 433 lakh metric tons of wheat was procured for Rabi marketing season 2021-22, benefiting over 49 lakh farmers. He further added that the government, through its nodal agencies, has procured 8.37 lakh metric tons of pulses and oilseeds, benefiting over 5 lakh farmers. Mr. Tomar said the government has been implementing various schemes to increase the farmers' income. These schemes include Soil Health Card, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, ENAM, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Annadata Aay Sanrakshan Abhiyan, among others.
The S-400 missile is a potent system in terms of its operational capability to provide continuous and effective air defense system to a very large area. This was stated by Minister of State for Defense Ajay Bhatt in a written reply in the Lok Sabha yesterday. He said air defense capability of the nation will be significantly enhanced with the induction of the system. He added that a contract has been signed in 2018 for delivery of S-400 system from Russia. Replying to another query, Mr. Bhatt said the government has taken several policy initiatives and brought reforms to encourage indigenous design, development and manufacture of defense equipment within the country. He said these measures have been taken with an aim to reduce dependency on imports.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of multiple projects worth around 18,000 crore rupees in Dehradun today. Prime Minister calls for a fintech revolution to achieve financial empowerment of every single citizen. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says Centre fully prepared to deal with Omicron variant of Corona. Centre asks states and union territories to be extra vigilant to contain spread of Omicron. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 126 crore 44 lakh mark. Cyclone Jawad likely to hit Andhra Pradesh and Odisha coast today. India lost to Germany in semi-final of FIH Odisha Hockey Men's Junior World Cup in Bhubaneswar, and India's Ananya Bansal wins silver medal in shot put event at Asia Youth Paralympics Games in Manama, Bahrain. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh on the 7th of this month and dedicate to the nation development projects worth over 9,600 crore rupees. The Prime Minister will dedicate to the nation the Gorakhpur fertilizer plant, whose foundation stone was laid by him on the 22nd of July 2016. Lying shut for more than 30 years, it has been revived and built at a cost of around 8,600 crore rupees. The driving force behind the revival of the fertilizer plant is the vision of the Prime Minister to achieve self-sufficiency in production of urea. The Gorakhpur plant will prove to be of immense benefit for the farmers of Purvanchal region and adjoining areas by meeting the demand for urea fertilizer. Mr. Modi will also dedicate to the nation the fully functional complex of AIIMS, Gorakhpur, which has been built at a cost of over 1,000 crore rupees. The foundation stone for the complex was laid by the Prime Minister on the 22nd of July 2016. It has been established under Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. The Prime Minister will also inaugurate the new building of ICMR Regional Medical Research Centre, Gorakhpur. The centre has been instrumental in tackling the challenges of Japanese encephalitis or acute encephalitis syndrome in the region. The Directorate of Revenue Intelligence DRI will celebrate its 64th Foundation Day today. DRI would also organize a regional customs enforcement meeting for effectively engaging with partner customs organizations and international agencies. It will also issue the current edition of Smuggling in India Report 2020-21 on this occasion. The report highlights the performance of DRI over the last year and captures issues related to national security, foreign trade policy, gold smuggling, environmental violations, narcotics, import and export frauds, violations of allied acts, international cooperation, public health and safety. DRI is the premier intelligence and enforcement agency of the Government of India on anti-smuggling matters.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
आदिवासी ने सूरवीर हो तो टोंचु मामोरे गरीब मानसों ने भगवान टोंचु मामोरे.
In today's episode, we remember the great freedom fighter and Indian Robin Hood, Tantia Bheel, who was martyred on the 4th of December 1889. Tantia Bheel waged an armed struggle against the British rule for 12 years and endeared himself to the masses by virtue of his indomitable courage and passion to uproot the foreign rule.
Tantia was born in village Badada in Khandwa district of Madhya Pradesh. He wanted to teach a lesson to the British and to realize the dream of an equitable society. He was fired with a passion to free India from British subjugation and was caught many times, but also broke jail many times. He was a great shooter and skillful in guerrilla warfare. Dawa or Falya was his main weapon, and later he also learned to handle guns.
Right from his young age, he lived in dense forests, valleys, ravines and mountains all his life, measuring swords with the British and Holkar states armies.
Tantia used to plunder the government treasuries of the British government and wealth of their supporters to distribute it among the poor and needy. He was popularly called Mama by the people of all age groups.
Tantia was lured to a parley by an officer of the Indore army who promised him a pardon, but was ambushed and taken to Jabalpur, where he was tried and hanged on the 4th of December 1889. We salute this Indian patriot.
Today we also remember freedom fighter and the 8th President of the Indian Republic, Ramaswamy Venkataraman, who was born on the 4th of December 1904. A true nationalist, a firm believer in secularism, democracy and Gandhian principle of non-violence, Venkataraman was also a humanitarian to the core.
Venkataraman was born in Rajamaram village in Pattakottai near Tanjavur district in the Madras Presidency and qualified in law from the Law College, Madras.
While practicing law, Venkataraman was drawn into the movement for India's freedom from Britain's colonial subjugation. He participated actively in the Quit India movement of 1942, for which he was sent to jail for 2 years.
In 1946, when the transfer of power from British to Indian hands was imminent, the Government of India included him in the panel of lawyers to be sent to Malaya and Singapore to defend Indian nationals charged with the offences of collaboration during the Japanese occupation. Later, he was also elected to the Constituent Assembly. Venkataraman was elected to the Lok Sabha 4 times and served as the Union Finance Minister and Defence Minister.
In 1984, he was elected as the 7th Vice President of India, and in 1987, he became the 8th President of India and served from 1987 to 1992.
The dignity of the nation and the individual rest in no small measure upon a strong and vibrant democratic institution. These in turn are closely linked with certain sound and lasting values in our public life. My government will fight those trends which have in recent years sapped our democratic institutions of their vitality and strength.
He remained committed to the cause of public welfare till his death on the 27th of January 2009. We salute this great Indian nationalist.
We also remember martyr Firangoji Shinde, who died on the 4th of December 1857. Born in Girgaon village of Kolhapur district, Maharashtra, to Baji Shinde, Firangoji was a farmer who participated in the attack on the British Army camp in Kolhapur Palace after the arrest of Maharaja Chima Sahib of Kolhapur in December 1857. He was killed in the fighting on December the 4th, 1857. AIR pays tributes to the martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404. Issued in public interest by the Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said that a grateful nation will always remember the pioneering role of Dr. Rajendra Prasad in the freedom struggle, his contribution as the President of the Constituent Assembly and as the President of India. Delivering Dr. Rajendra Prasad Memorial Lecture 2021 last night, organized by All India Radio, Yogi Adityanath said Dr. Rajendra Prasad, as President of the country, set many standards. He said Dr. Prasad never gave any opportunity to anyone to interfere in his constitutional rights. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister said Dr. Rajendra Prasad, as President, left party allegiance to work independently and decided to renounce politics. He said it was a precedent that later became a tradition and continues even today.
डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी ने संविधान के अनुरूप हमेशा स्वतंत्र रूप से कार्य करने की एक मिसाल प्रस्तुत की। यही नहीं, प्रयागराज का ऐतिहासिक कुंभ और प्रतिवर्ष प्रयागराज के संगम तट पर कल्पवासियों का एक बड़ा जमावड़ा होता है और मुझे बताते हुए अत्यंत गौरव की अनुभूति होती है कि प्रयागराज कुंभ के दौरान जब मैं प्रयागराज यमुना जी के तट पर स्थित किले के अंदर गया तो वहां पर आज भी एक प्रेसिडेंशियल सूट है। मैंने पूछा भी किले के अंदर प्रेसिडेंशियल सूट का मतलब क्या, तो मुझे बताया गया कि डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी राष्ट्रपति रहते हुए भी प्रयागराज कुंभ के दौरान और माघ मेले के दौरान एक कल्पवासी के रूप में साधना करते थे। ये भारत की आस्था के प्रति उनके सम्मान का उत्कृष्ट उदाहरण प्रस्तुत करता है।
UGC NET December 2020 and June 2021 examinations scheduled to be held tomorrow has been postponed in the various cities of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. The exam has been postponed in the cities of Bhubaneswar, Gunupur, Cuttack, Berhampur, Puri and Visakhapatnam. National Testing Agency NTA has taken the step to reschedule the exam due to the red alert issued in Odisha and Andhra Pradesh for cyclonic storm Jawad. A revised data sheet for rescheduled examination will be uploaded later. In a notice issued by NTA, it has been said that the examination for all other cities of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and all other states will be held as per schedule. It further said the revised date sheet for the rescheduled examination will be uploaded later. NTA has also decided to rescheduling of entrance exam for MBA IB 2022-24 of the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade scheduled to be held tomorrow. The exam has been postponed in the various cities of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal. NTA said revised date to be announced later.
Star Olympian and Tokyo Olympics gold medal winner Neeraj Chopra will interact with students at Sanskar Dham in Ahmedabad today. According to official sources, students of more than 75 schools of Gujarat will interact with Neeraj Chopra on this occasion. The Star Olympian will share his experiences on balanced diet, fitness and sports with the students. India lost to Germany in the semi-final match 2-4 in the FIH Odisha Hockey Men's Junior World Cup in Bhubaneswar last night. Now Germany will face Argentina in Sunday's final, while India will take on France for the bronze medal. Further in sports, India's Ananya Bansal won the country's first silver medal in shot put in the F20 category at the Asia Youth Paralympic Games in Manama, Bahrain yesterday. Ananya Bansal is an athlete with an intellectual impairment. Deepa Malik, the president of the Paralympic Committee of India, lauded Ananya for her performance in the showpiece event.
The cyclone Jawad is likely to reach North Andhra Pradesh and South Odisha today. Talking to AIR News, IMD DG Mrityunjay Mahapatra said that the cyclonic storm is likely to reach Andhra Pradesh and Odisha around noon today.
The cyclone storm Jawad is now located about 230 kilometers south of Visakhapatnam over the Bay of Bengal. It is expected to move north-northeastward and reach near Odisha coast around Puri by 5th noon. Under its influence from last night, there has been rainfall over North Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Light to moderate rainfall has occurred with isolated heavy rainfall. It is expected that during next 24 hours, there will be heavy to very heavy rainfall at a few places and isolated extremely heavy rainfall over North Andhra Pradesh and coastal Odisha and adjoining areas. The heavy rainfall activity is also expected over Canada West Bengal from today and tomorrow. There can be isolated heavy to very heavy rainfall, especially the coastal districts of West Bengal. The sea condition is very rough, so therefore fishermen are advised not to venture into seas.
Coastal districts of Odisha have been experiencing rainfall since the last night due to the impact of Jawad. According to Meteorological Department, the rainfall and wind intensity will increase as the cyclonic storm approaches the Odisha coast. Indian Navy has ramped up rescue and relief operations to minimize damages. Navy is closely monitoring the movement of the cyclonic storm. It is in constant touch with the state administrations for rendering assistance as required, Navy said in a release. Navy has kept 13 flood relief teams and 4 diving teams on standby to be deployed for rescue and relief operations. Director General of National Disaster Response Force Atul Karwal said 46 NDRF teams have been deployed in West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Andaman and Nicobar.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Relying on the tested formula, WHO says measures used against Delta should also work for Omicron, states the Financial Express. The Times of India, quoting genome scientist, says consider booster dose for 40+. Experts will take call on booster dose, says government in Lok Sabha, writes the Indian Express. Flying squads to curb pollution in NCR get going after Supreme Court order, writes the Tribune. The Asian Age, quoting Chief of Naval Staff Admiral R. Harikumar, writes, ready to tackle China in ocean. Hindustan Times quotes CEO of Google and Alphabet Inc. as saying future tech will be ambient, immersive. The Statesman, quoting Prime Minister Modi, writes, fully digital banks to become commonplace. And finally, Geeta Gopinath to take on number 2 role at International Monetary Fund. Well, the Economic Times reports that the Indian-American chief economist has been promoted as its first deputy managing director.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate and lay a foundation stone of multiple projects worth around 18,000 crore rupees in Dehradun today. Prime Minister calls for FinTech revolution to achieve financial empowerment of every single citizen. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia says centre is fully prepared to deal with Omicron variant of Corona. Centre states and union territories to be extra vigilant to contain spread of Omicron. India's COVID vaccination coverage crosses 126 crore 44 lakh mark. Cyclone Jawad likely to hit Andhra Pradesh and Odisha coast today. India lost to Germany in the semi-final of the FIH Odisha Hockey Men's Junior World Cup in Bhubaneswar. And India's Ananya Bansal wins silver medal in shot put event at Asia Youth Paralympic Games in Manama, Bahrain. And with that we end the morning news. Have a nice day.